Leave my bottom alone.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. I'm joined today once again in my 193 part interview with Andrew Cohen. Here's another part.
It's too long. There's not that much left.
I delve into the mind.
I don't think any mind's been as delved
the man
into.
behind the face.
Yeah.
The man behind the eyes.
Yeah. I don't think anyone else has been delved into this much.
No.
And I'm not really I'm not successful.
Back in the day, this would be it'd be like a weekly digest.
Yeah. Just a weekly interview with one guy.
Well, split into 190 parts.
With no end in sight. No end in sight at all. I'm ill.
Okay.
So deal with that.
Another twist in the tale.
Yeah, another twist of the tail, it seems.
In the endless journey that is Andrew Cohen's existence.
Yeah, God. What else will happen next?
You'll die eventually.
That will happen. I am ill. I've got a blocked nose. It's cold season. It's a season change. We didn't cover the season change last time, and we're often
hot on the heels.
It's definitely good cop, dumb cop.
Good cuck.
Good cuck, dumb cuck, dumb fuck.
Good cuck, dumb fuck.
Because the seasons are beginning to fascinate me more.
Okay, so is it growing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm now.
This could be called educating
we've got
Andrew
like a spot
Cohen.
in exactly the same place.
What do you think it is? Do you think it's pillowcases?
No, but they're opposite. Maybe it's.
What do you think it is?
That's really funny. It's like that's exactly the same. Look at the camera.
Yeah.
It's just like a mirror.
But what is it?
Well, it could be pillowcases. I've told you.
Because it feels like that's a pillowcase spot, does it not?
It does a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When was the last time you washed your pillowcase?
Just now.
Oh, was that because of the spot?
It was taking drastic action.
Yeah.
We had a review,
No, but that
me and myself, about what went wrong. Even better if.
Well, maybe.
What went wrong? I've got a spot on my forehead.
Even better if you washed the pillow. But what was Did we do anything on the weekend? The same thing that would have got the same?
We went out for Elle's birthday.
Yeah, I know, but I know that. I mean,
maybe if you see it, does Elle have a spot here?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Are you implying that we sort of like headbutted?
Yeah, I feel like something happened. Or we did something at the same time, but it's mirrored.
Yeah, it's
weird. Oh yeah, headbutt would make sense.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a headbutt thing.
Potentially.
I don't remember headbutting. But no, the season's changed, and I think that's a classic time to get ill, isn't it?
But this season change is very weird.
Yeah.
And this whole year's been probably the weirdest weather we've ever had.
Yeah. I think this 2-month period's been the weirdest
September's
weather
been
we've ever had.
Like the hottest September.
But
we had the hottest May.
Did you see the hail?
And then we had the wettest July.
Yeah, we did.
Because all the pussy were crushing. Yeah.
All that puss.
You didn't even believe that last
Didn't even believe it, no. July.
All that puss?
All that puss? Question mark? Wet July. Did you see the hail?
I did. It was probably the most rain I've ever seen.
My hype of the week, I'll write it down so it's official, is hail. I love it.
It's incredible.
It's insane. So I went outside when it was happening to see. It hurt a lot.
Oh, so you did like properly your take. Maybe that's where you got the spot from.
Did you? Well, you were also out there again. No, yeah, the hail came down. I was immediately out collecting it.
Yeah.
And then it hurt, so I went back in, and then I went back out, and it had all collected in small pools of different parts of our garden where I had, given the gravity of the pavement. Perfect circles. Absolute perfect circles. Yeah. Which makes it seem like it doesn't really exist, or that it's something made up. It's like a game.
And then you
think, why are they perfect circles?
But then it's transient because it's ice, so it melts. So you just have these moments of perfect circles, but they'll all
But no, they stayed there for fucking ages because
Really?
They collected together. So it was like a
strength in numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
they're unionised.
There is with ice. There is strength in numbers.
It really is.
You leave one piece of ice out there.
They organised well.
Yeah, they organised well. I think it was just because our garden's a
action.
nightmare. So it was like
No
a
one
pool
crossed
of
the picket line.
It was none of them did. It was like a pool of beads at the bottom of our garden. There were 2 separate pools of beads that you could go and you can get a handful of them.
Yeah.
And they were all perfectly circular.
No, hail's a real
it.
thrill because hail never lasts longer than like 45 minutes an hour.
Which is my only gripe about hail.
Is how short it is.
Yeah.
How long would you want hail lasting?
I wanted like a day of it.
A whole day of hail?
Because it's nuts. Like, forget about the consequences.
It makes being inside sick.
Lit.
Like, it's so sick being inside.
Almost.
I'm like, I can't believe I'm
but
inside.
Everyone's like, yeah, it's great when it rains because then you don't have to feel bad about not going outside, which is fair. I think hail's a bit too much. It sounds like your house is under attack.
But that's great, right?
But I get worried about the windows. Okay, fine, you got me. I worry about the windows.
Do you?
Yeah, I worry about the windows.
But then part of me has that thrill. It's like we are
under attack.
Look,
I'm a hail fan.
Yeah.
But I don't trust the structural integrity of this house, and I also think that like doors and stuff are open
Yes,
when the hail gets in. There's going to be hail-related injuries.
but it's still thrilling.
Speaking of hail-related injuries, I'm not sure I've ever said this on the podcast. I was at the cricket whenever it was.
Wait, what was it? County or
It was the 100.
100?
And it really
Supporting our boy George Gartz.
no,
No.
not opposite actually. There was and it reminded me of a theory that I had. It's not really a theory. It's more an uncovering of corruption that definitely exists within the cricket world.
Ooh.
You're done right. So in cricket, a lot of the times the ball will get hit over the boundary into where spectators are.
Famously.
Right? Cricket is a long game. People do not pay attention to every single shot, right? It's very rare that no one will pay attention to every single shot. What?
No, yeah,
So
I'm agreeing with you.
the amount of people, I'm sure that there is at least 10 cricket deaths per year of people in the crowd who aren't looking and get hit in the head.
I brought this up on the podcast maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half.
Did you? Well, I think this has been my thing for a while.
Both of us.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it. Why aren't more
People
people
must
dead?
die.
Why isn't it a bigger deal?
So I went to the Oval and I was watching it. Someone caught it near me actually, and I was like, "You're bloody lucky, man. You're one of the lucky
But
ones."
why aren't there more deaths? Why I'm getting a
Cover up.
I'm getting notification every day for
cover-up.
the XL bully stuff.
Yeah, it's a cover-up. It's an absolute cover-up. Of course,
they're
there's
suppressing
deaths.
it.
There's kids in there. One of
And
those.
they're
It's
being
so
killed.
easy to get hit on the head,
And then you're dead. You're
and
gone.
then you're dead.
You're gone.
That
You're
ball's gone like 100 and something meters.
If Ben Stokes smashed a 6, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's gonzo.
Yeah, not if Alistair Cook though. It's just
No.
Ben Stokes.
Exactly.
But Alistair Cook, that's a dated one. But yeah, there's a cover up going on because I think it's impossible for them not to happen.
I went to my first cricket game maybe 3 years ago, and immediately I was like, "There's something afoot here."
Yeah.
It seems like.
There's corruption in the air
Yeah.
because what the problem for cricket is, it's obviously a boring game.
That's the point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then when there's like 10 deaths per year for a boring game, they're just going to pull the boring game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like football.
Yeah, where it's
like maybe we
live and die for this.
we could stomach 10 deaths a year in football. Cricket, no.
Yeah. Football bouncing on the head is always funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Even
you don't like those videos of people getting hit in the face by a
No, I
football.
don't. But yeah, if this is a 5-year-old girl, she's got an ice cream and it knocks out her hand.
That's
She
funny.
starts crying. I'm laughing.
But are you laughing if
Character building.
it hits her in the face?
No.
So are you laughing if it hits the ice cream? Maybe what if it hits her hand and like a hand? I'll laugh if I won't laugh if it hits her in the face. I'll laugh if the ball hits the hand, the ice cream flies out, and then her hand hits her own face like that, like one
and
of
then
those.
she smacks herself. Well, I'd laugh if
Or the ice cream, yeah.
yeah, and it makes her a nose.
A unicorn.
Yeah, and she's humiliated, and it's on the big screen.
I
And
would-
it traumatizes her for life.
What's funnier, a unicorn horn or a nose with the ice cream?
I reckon a nose because it's more. Yeah, you know.
Where the unicorn's a bit like,
But then the nose is
the nose
truly
like,
silly.
that's really embarrassing.
That's really
embarrassing.
that's really silly.
Yeah.
Because your nose would go deep into the ice cream as well.
Yeah, I know. It implies that is your nose. Whereas we all
That's
know.
the implication.
Yeah, it's like the cone. Oh, what? That lady's got a cone for a nose. Oh, that child has got a cone for a nose.
Dream is like you want to hit multiple bald heads really hard.
Yeah.
A bald man's head
like
is
a
the
whack-a-mole.
perfect thing. Yeah, bang, bang, bang.
One of my friends who is newly single was on Hinge and said there was a lady messaged him, Ali, and said, "You look like a whack-a-mole."
That's funny. Maybe she's the one.
But in a cute way.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You sort of, it's something furry and a mole. So this got handed in through our.
Ah, yes.
Well, this was on our doorstep, and I've seen this around town. So, do you remember what he was called? The guy who the spirit healer.
I've just read it.
Okay.
Professor Tabutu.
No, it used to
Great.
be Dr. Abu. Do you
It
remember?
was Doctor. So for long-term listeners of the podcast, we had someone post through this business card almost.
Business card where it's the same thing, but the name's different. That's what's so weird. So it used to be Dr. Abu.
Yeah.
Now this is basically exactly the same. 100% results. There's a slight change.
Just read it out quickly for everyone who wasn't here before.
Come and see Professor Tabatu. So maybe there's been a promotion.
Yeah.
Please don't hesitate to call me. I can help with any difficulties in your life. international renowned spiritual healer / clairvoyant with spiritual powers of my ancestral master spirit, I can help you with bringing back loved ones, domestic / family problems, depression, substance abuse / addiction, losing weight, impotency, infertility, immigration / court cases, breaking black magic, jinx, demonic forces.
My favourite is always immigration / court cases.
Antisocial behaviour in people, good luck, success in business, in exams, career, spiritual guidance, stress, job interviews, marriage. Your pain is my responsibility.
Right.
100% results. She used to say 100% results, guaranteed. Maybe not.
Interesting. I always saw him as a guy.
Yeah, it's unclear.
Can I have a quick look at the card?
Near Canning Town.
So, like, obviously, the breadth of his expertise is terrifying. But the one that, like, it makes sense. Like, you could go, oh, he's a clairvoyant / spiritual healer. You could go there if you've got depression, you know, family problems, you've got addiction issues, you want to lose weight, and impotency. That all makes sense.
Yeah.
Immigration / court cases. It implies that he's also a lawyer.
Yeah.
That he'll also
He's
be
a demon
able to
lawyer.
represent you.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Like, oh, I've got an immigration court case coming up and I might get deported. Well, good luck, I guess. But then doesn't good luck cover immigration and court
Well, what
cases?
I think happened
100% results?
Well, it used to be 100% results guaranteed.
Should we call them? I wish we were pranksters a bit more.
Yeah, I can't really do it, though.
Because as soon as you said cool, my heart started to flutter. It would be hilarious to call him right now. Is it legal to call him right now?
Legal?
Yeah, unlike on a podcast. Can you?
Yeah.
Can you do that? Do you not have to say you're on a podcast? Well, Tim.
No,
Dillon,
I don't think
Tim
you do.
Dillon doesn't.
No, I think you can prank call. It used to be 100% results guaranteed. Now it's 100% results. But that's also results. It's just a result.
Yeah,
there's no. It could be either or.
If there's one thing that we can,
'Cause I mean, 100% results is a crazy thing.
Professor Tabatu is that he finishes it to the point where there is a result.
There's going to be a
He
result.
gets the job done. He might not be a
He
good
gets
job.
a job done.
There are consequences for what he does.
What I think about Professor Tabatu, and it's fascinating that Dr. Abu, there's been a rebrand.
Why do you think?
Well,
Scandal?
Professor,
Maybe one of the immigration court cases didn't go so well.
maybe he didn't want to tarnish his 100% record.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he got one wrong, so he changed.
But also maybe, you know, when Gandalf the Grey came back as Gandalf the White, as like a more
I
powerful...
think about it daily.
as a more powerful wizard.
Yeah.
I feel Dr. Abu has come back more powerful. Because Professor's is bigger than Doctor. That's more...
We mock. He might well be a doctor and he's genuinely just become a professor and he has got 100% results. Because we could go to him for all of our problems.
Yeah, sort it out.
I would like to go.
Yeah.
Just for the podcast. We don't have that in us.
For the Vine.
We would.
Yeah.
If I really felt it was going to
Near Canning Town Station, that's pretty nearby.
That is nearby.
Please don't hesitate to call. I can help with any difficulties in your life. I feel that Dr. Abu... Well, Professor Tabatu, formerly Dr. Abu, started out with international renowned spiritual healer, clairvoyant with spiritual powers of my ancestral master spirit.
Yeah, of course.
That's all that he had.
Yeah.
And then it was just lots of people like saying like, I've got this immigration court case. I just don't think. And then I think he's added one.
He's a bit of a fixer.
I think he's added a couple each time. Every time he's dropped one of these, he adds like
there's
another.
Not one single case he's taken on that isn't represented on the card.
Yeah, well, it's normally he's listed everything. Yeah.
So every new individual.
And then someone's like, oh God, I actually I need some help breaking black magic. Like,
I'll do it.
I can do that as well.
Sorry, Abu, could you help me with my taxes?
Fuck. No, well, and then he gets them next time.
Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't got like his qualifications and stuff on there as well, like proficient in PowerPoint and things. But you can't knock him.
But I think
when did this come through?
So he has this came through maybe 3 days ago.
I mean, I doubt
it was about a year ago that it came through last time. I think.
I doubt Tabatu has. I think we should call him by his new name, by the way.
Yeah.
I doubt Tabatu has.
We don't want a dead name.
No. I doubt Tabatu has people working for him, because I mean Canning Town Station isn't ages away, but it's pretty far.
It feels very freelancer solo.
Yeah.
Right? This doesn't feel like there's a lot of people working on this operation. He doesn't have a graphic designer.
Which means he's been to our house. He's been outside our...
Professor Tabatu's probably been... Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. God. What do you think Professor Tabatu looks like?
I don't really want to answer that question.
West African
with a big hat.
Sadly, that is... and it's almost...
Well, it's
almost 100% true.
Yeah. Well, come on. But then what... So you think woman?
For briefly, I don't know why.
I think only a man would write that many things on a business card.
What do you think a woman would have less
I think a woman
self-confidence?
it would be a better business card. It'll be more like, I'm a clairvoyant and spiritual healer who can help you with any of your problems. 100% results, this is your number. I think only a man goes, I can do everything, including bring back loved ones, domestic and family problems, depression, substance abuse, addiction, losing weight, impotency. That's like, it's too masculine.
Bring back loved ones. It's such a big fucking...
That's
For 100%
that's
results.
false advertising.
For 100% results, that's crazy.
I mean, because would you reckon he'll do the whole thing where
This should be a good start to a film.
this thing, this person.
Like a business card is like shitty as this. Opening a film and then it turns out everything he said is completely true.
Yeah.
It's just bad branding.
Yeah.
So he is like everything he says he
Everything
is, but
he says.
he just needs graphic designers
Yeah.
to really sell it.
But
I think because clairvoyant with spiritual powers of my ancestral master spirit. So it seems like his power comes from having an ancestral master spirit. So it feels like the spirit's connected to as many ancestors, and that's what channels
So
his
an ancestral
mystical
master
power.
spirit, I presume, is just a spirit that runs across all his ancestors.
Yes.
Like a master key.
But you've got a bit. I think you've got to have a certain level of expertise to access. But then I'm sure that means we all have an ancestral master spirit. We just are not. We're not able to access
No, we
it.
don't have one. That's why we can't bring back loved ones.
No, it's because we don't know how to access it. That's why we can't bring out loved ones. I'm sure if we went through the training that Professor Tabatu did.
No, but we
'Cause
don't
he's a
have the same
professor in it.
ancestors.
What?
We don't have the same
Yeah,
ancestors.
his ancestors are not the only ones that have a master spirit.
Yeah, but I don't. That doesn't mean that
Whatever-
everyone does. Not everyone has the gifts.
No, whatever view he subscribes to, it is everyone has an ancestral master spirit. It's just about the gift of access.
Let me see the
I'm
writing.
sure it is.
Where did you see this?
It's one of the first things.
In international renowned spiritual healer, Clairvoyant with spirit, and he's putting these through our door. Powers of my ancestral master spirit. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's actually that everyone can have it. But speaking of people putting things through people's doors,
Wow.
that's the segue.
Yeah.
London, there's a crime spree going on.
Crime is on the rise.
Crime is on the rise. Yeah. Weird things are happening in the town of London. Maybe across other parts of the UK. Maybe I think everyone's finally starting.
Well, to be honest, to add to the paranoia and anxiety that's being felt in London is perfectly. Now is
his time. I think
this feels like a doomsday preacher almost.
Yeah, Tabatu, a doomsday preacher?
Almost.
I think he's there to alleviate.
Yeah, it just feels like when reality starts getting more and more complicated and stressful, that's when spiritual healers come out to play.
That's true.
When things are really.
It's Tabatu's time.
I bet in Switzerland and shit, you don't have people like this.
No, absolutely. It's Tabatu's time. It's like, you guys really need this. So. There's a crime spree going on. Crime is on the rise. People are losing their minds. There's too many stories out there of weird things happening.
It's true.
Keep your doors locked.
Yeah.
Keep on lookout for weird things.
Yeah.
So, Eloise, my girlfriend, is going through a strange old situation.
Name and shame.
Name her Eloise Lamb. Look her up on Instagram. She has been she lives in a flat, bottom floor flat, so it's right next to the street. And since a week and a half ago, this group, I think there's 4 of them, and they're teenagers, maybe 19, apparently as tall as me-ish, have been going up to her window, and they started initially. Well, Elle went back and saw these 2 holes in the window. They're double glazed, and they only penetrated one of the glazings. So she saw these 2 holes and was like, oh, that must have been, a conker or something, some sort of act of God. But then she was informed by the neighbour that these guys are going there, just elbowing her window. So this has then been happening for a week and a half. There's now about 10 holes.
That's crazy.
In the thing. They come back every other night and they throw a bottle.
So it's quite consistent. It's not like a weekly thing.
It's like a fucking hobby.
Okay.
It's insane. So this is mostly one guy, but he's got friends. They come back and they throw a glass bottle at the window and then run away. There's a video of it here. The video's worth it. Because the run's really funny. The run makes it. Oh, look, the video's going on. He kind of does a proper one like that. So Elle at one point chased them out, and then they kind of got to, and then they ran away, and then they kind of stopped, and there was a big group of them, and it's not worth getting stabbed over this. It can happen. So she then ran back. No, she didn't run back. There was no need.
But did they see her?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
Because that's mad if they did.
Now, it's also the worst of London because there's a neighbour who looks onto Elle's flat who is being very helpful by seeing it. But now he's become far too involved and he's clearly trying to fuck her. So it's like, I'm really understanding the plight of women.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is happening and then a guy helps out and he's like, what are you up to tonight?
Yeah.
It's like, leave her alone. Leave the girl alone. She's just trying to sort this out. But so he's getting far too involved. So he's good.
How old is he?
I don't actually know. I think I don't know.
No.
But he took that video and then he followed them back to this address. He followed them back to this address, which we presume is one of the kids' address, potentially the main kid's address.
Oh, if you can tell the parents.
And was taking photos. And was taking
He's getting
photos
really
of
involved.
it. They saw.
It feels like you don't want to be in this guy's debt.
They saw him and then chased him back to his house. So he ran away from this group of kids. They saw him. And then that happened whenever. And I was like, maybe after all this, it will stop. And then when we were there on Monday night, window open, window slightly ajar because it was hot. And then just at like 10 p.m., just hear a smash. They're just doing it every other night.
Did you run out and try and catch him?
I was like, I wonder what I'll do if I'm there. I try to work out what's the best thing to do. I was like, look, I'll probably catch up to one of them. They don't look very quick. But it's what? I perform a...
They don't look fast?
You watch the video. He runs like a fucking weirdo. You might catch up to one of them. What? I'd get him, tackle him, then what?
Stop it.
Stop! You must stop it now.
Why don't you can just tell her to stop throwing it? Or like ask, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Do you think you can reason with these guys that come back every 2 days to just throw glass at them? To throw glass at this window? These are sociopaths.
Yeah.
There is no reasoning with them. I thought initially...
Joker.
Pardon?
They're the Joker. Pure anarchists.
They are, they're the Joker. It's Heath Ledger. He's still alive. But so they're chucking these bottles. There's no... I thought my initial reaction was to say, like, what are you doing? But they're running off. You can't reason with a man that you've just tackled to the floor.
Has any of the glass gone through the second?
Not yet, but we're not far off now.
How many of... So it's all double glazed and there's lots of little windows.
Yeah.
How many...
There's probably a picture.
How many of the first glazings have been smashed?
Like... There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's probably like 20 panes, maybe less than that, maybe 15 panes. I reckon 10 of them have been smashed.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, they're working their way through to get.
They're working their way through, and Els suggested at one point, it was like, well, they're trying to break in. I was like, if they were trying to break in, they just fucking elbow it straight away. You wouldn't come back once every 2 nights.
It's a really slow project.
Constantly, just like, oh, we've accidentally broke in, but. It's a crime spree. It's insane. So we've reported.
But that's a crime that seems to have no real intent, which is the most scary crime of all.
Just like insane kids. And so what's worse?
How old do they look? Sorry,
around 19 apparently.
Okay.
But I think
that's old.
I think maybe from maybe a group roughly 16 to 19. I think. But there was, and then the worst of London as well was that one of the neighbours came down and was like, it's kind of a fair assumption, but it's not delivered particularly well because they're seeing it being like, what the fuck is going on? So they were like accusing her of being a drug dealer, which is like, it's kind of fair, but it was like, can we maybe just help this poor woman out instead of trying to fuck her and accuse her of being a drug dealer? It's crazy. It's a crazy situation. We've called the police. It's happened now. It's been reported.
Oh shit! And what? But I mean, what? They
got a crime. I don't. Well, to be fair, we've got the address. We've got a potential address.
Oh, just send the pigs round.
Over.
Yeah.
But then I fear an escalation.
What? Yeah.
You called the Rozzers on me, did you?
Snitching.
Yeah. Then we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're accidentally in some sort of turf war.
Yeah. It can go many different ways. You might have to get Professor Tabatu involved.
Oh, might, yeah.
This is a problem. This is a problem that needs...
Well, on the card, antisocial behaviour in people. Well, no, we'd have to get them to Professor Tabatu.
I don't think so.
Do you think I could go
it's
there
social in people. It's not in you. So he's asking... Yeah. So you could...
So I could go and fix their antisocial problems?
Yeah.
Okay.
From afar.
Well, if the police don't work, I guess it's on to Tabatu.
I guess this guy seems like he'd be into voodoo of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little voodoo dolls of these little kids.
Need to know what they look like, don't you, for voodoo dolls?
We've got the video.
We've got the pictures.
And that also coincided with BB's friend having probably the most insane version of this I've ever heard in real life.
Well, this is psychological abuse.
This is truly like on a level that's quite extraordinary.
It's a film level.
It's like it's got because this Elle's thing. It doesn't seem much craft in it. It's not. No. It's not carefully crafted. It's narrative.
it's kind of just mindless destruction.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
sloppy.
There's psychological warfare involved
Yeah.
because it's targeted at one
Yeah.
specific house and specific windows, but it's just chucking glass at that. There's no like intricate games going on.
So BB's friend started finding outside her front door puzzle pieces. So she started off by finding one puzzle piece.
The way BB, so we found this out on we were telling this story on Saturday, and BB just brought this out so casually.
And we were just like, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Same thing.
She's got one puzzle piece in front of her door. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to find.
But within the chaos of the world, could happen.
Could happen. The wind.
Yeah. There was a child nearby playing a puzzle on the street.
And then it was almost, I think it was like a month later. So quite a long time, she found two puzzle pieces.
Immediately, I'm going, holy shit.
Yeah. And
because
then,
that, fool me once, shame on you.
And then 2 weeks later, another two pieces. And then consistently, with no real time frame, sometimes it's months, sometimes a week, she kept getting these puzzle pieces through, which is getting really scary and creepy.
How long has this been going on for, does she
I think it's been going like 6 months.
That's too much. Has she called anyone?
Yes, she called the police.
Yeah.
And they know. And then she installed a ring light.
Oh my God, that video.
She installed a ring light. We can't show the video because it's her own personal stuff. But
it's not like, I mean, we can maybe ask. We'll see. Because it's good to name and shame.
Yeah, she installed a ring light, and I just don't think you're
if
ready.
There is the person, imagine the person who you wouldn't want leaving puzzles on your door. That's what that person.
Because you almost feel like when you get a ring light and you see the actual thing, it's never as mysterious or weird as you think it will be.
Because
you're like, it's a puzzle piece.
Like a 15-year-old kid going,
yeah, and it's like, oh, that's so disappointing.
It is.
I was not
terrifying.
ready. It's sort of. It looks. I think they're dressed up as a woman, but it's probably a man.
We couldn't. The problem was because we were trying to decipher that, but then the zooming in on the face makes it. Hold on, the zooming on the face makes it even more terrifying because it's like there's. Cloaked. It's a cloaked face. There's like a robe going on. Almost.
Sort of like Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat. This big
mixed with the invisibility cloak in Harry Potter.
Yeah, this big rainbow-coloured sort of cloak,
she
sort of like
looks,
hippie ethereal. And then
she looks 7 feet tall.
Yeah, ginormous. And then they have long red hair that I think is a wig. Yeah. And then like a big sort of like velvet bowler cap.
No, I think it was it not hooded? There might have been
I think there's like a hat. Yeah, hat under a hood with this red hair.
Maybe, yeah.
And then you see it and you think this is a giant woman. And then you zoom in on the face and it's
a bit
so...
like Hagrid's love interest.
Yes! Exactly like
Hagrid's love interest, but you can't see her face.
But then we zoomed in on her face and it's quite clearly a man with a big fat man schnoz.
A big fat man schnoz.
Yeah, he's sort of like Vincent Cassel, sort of big nose.
I think it was grey. It was very grey.
Yeah.
Let's ask you if we can.
And the video
is
this kind of man creature walking up to her door and then just chucking it like that.
Let's call them they. It's a real look left, look right, and then a proper chuck.
Just throw.
But it's like and you just see these two pieces of the puzzle going in, and what the fuck is going on?
I mean, I'm so interested because with L's, you feel like the answer will be what you think it is.
Mindless vandalism.
But this, I can't even.
Psychological warfare.
What is going on?
Has she been putting the puzzle together, which is something weird?
Well, no, she's collected the pieces, but they don't fit, which is annoying because you want it to start. You want it to start.
How big is the jigsaw that they're delivering? This could be.
It's small pieces, implying a big jigsaw.
500 piecer? I'm not a jigsaw expert. Never claimed to be.
Yeah. So it's very unclear.
What is the worst thing that puzzle could be?
Picture of the zoomed in.
No, a picture of her. Or like, right, the worst thing it could be is a picture of her, as in the person who it's happening to, like being depicted and how she'll die, or like how she's going to be killed.
Yeah, the worst thing, actually, would be her bedroom so maybe her living room or something.
Yeah.
And then
her knowledge of inside of the house.
And then the rainbow-coloured woman in that living room.
Oh, no.
And then she looks up and she's there.
No! I mean, so that you can't put any of the pieces together whatsoever.
I don't know. Well, she says no.
Is there any... Yeah, I mean,
there's no discernible thing.
I'd love to know more about the individual pieces, if there's any, like, clues in that.
Because she says no, but I'm like, give me a look. I'm sure I can.
Does she live by herself?
Yeah.
Fuck that, man.
Something crazy is going afoot. I mean, the police have been called. But what is going? Everything's just getting weird and mystical out there. The weather's all weird. Tabatu's running fucking free.
But the fact that on Saturday I just brought up the fact that these group of people have been running up to Wells Flat every other day and chucking glass bottles at it for no discernible reason, and someone else has a similar story.
Yeah.
London's going to shit. It's on fire. Do you want to do Ariana Grande in the weekend?
Well, yeah, we might as well talk about it.
We've tried to do this 3 weeks in a row.
Well, it's nothing big. I think BB thinks I've got a lot gayer since coming back from Edinburgh. And I think maybe it's because I spent too much time with Paddy, who is a closeted homosexual gentleman. Yeah. And why she thought that was that there's this one video which is Ariana Grande and The Weeknd singing Save Your Tears. And it's this live thing. I think it's on like an award show, maybe at the VMAs or something. And
the VMAs? God, you are getting gay.
And the only people in the audience were the gay population of New York. Yeah. Every time it cut to a shot, it was just the gayest guys ever. And I kind of got obsessed with this video because I just don't think I've ever seen such extraordinary vocal talent as The Weeknd and Ariana Grande. And I'm not a particular fan of either of them.
Right.
Until after this video. But then I was just so truly blown away by the just pure talent of both of them and the star quality that it was like quite moving. And so I've been showing a lot of people. I've not been getting the responses I want, but I cannot believe how good Ariana Grande is.
This is what we need. I want to watch it. This is what we need.
I cannot believe how good Ariana Grande's voice was, because The Weeknd comes on and you don't know Ariana Grande is going to come on.
Right.
Well, the audience don't.
Yeah.
And he starts singing.
You do all too well.
Yeah, I know very well. And then he's singing, unbelievable voice.
Yeah.
Incredible. It sounds like it's in a recording studio.
Yeah.
And then she comes out of nowhere. She comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well,
it'd be hilarious if they were miming.
Yeah. Well, maybe they are.
Yeah.
And then the audience lose their shit. I mean, in tears, because they cannot believe that Ariana Grande, who hasn't done that many live appearances since that Manchester bombing thing.
Actually not.
And then she comes on and sings even better than The Weeknd. Yeah. And it might be one of the greatest live performances I've seen. Up there with Coldplay.
You Buenos Aires. You're a big old gay man. What's going on?
I don't know. I just think
at the moment,
talent will overcome anything for me. I just respect it on all levels.
Yeah, which is fair. But there's like talent that also isn't Ariana Grande at The Weeknd or Coldplay.
Yeah.
I think I think you're enjoying the surprise of the talent.
Yeah, probably.
I think that elevates it. It's an expectation thing. Mm-hmm. You go in with them on the floor, and then suddenly they're on the roof, and then it's that jump that's the big thing.
But I don't think did you see this story? Made me laugh a bit because it feels very our sense of humour, I guess, is that the Canadian Parliament did this big whole tribute to this World War II veteran, one of the only surviving veterans who'd fought in Ukraine in World War II, and they were using that as like a with their continued support of Zelensky, they got this World War II veteran who'd fought actually in Ukraine during World War II, and did this whole speech about how amazing this guy was and the sacrifice he'd given.
So he's an old man. And Ukraine honoured him because of his work in World War II. Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
Because of he fought in... It was part of their support of Ukraine.
Part of the Ukrainian National Army? Or as part of the Canadian?
Well, they implied that it was his fight for freedom, his fight for justice. But what they hadn't done the research is that he actually was fighting on the other side.
What?
He was a Nazi.
That's fantastic.
That's unbelievable.
That's the best thing I've ever heard. I didn't realise it was that.
No, do you not?
No, I thought...
What did you get the story on?
I loosely read the story, and I thought it was... Because there's loads of Nazis in Ukraine.
Yeah, actual Nazis.
Neo-Nazis. Yeah. There's like problems with groups of neo-Nazis in Ukraine. So I'd thought that they'd like celebrated a Ukrainian guy for doing really good in the current war.
No.
And then he turned out to be a neo-Nazi. That's so much better. So he was fighting for the Germans.
Yeah.
How? He was Canadian.
I don't.
So he just like defected and went to the. Or
if you fought for the Nazis.
When did they
not
find
all
out?
of them got killed. If he's a soldier, then
I know they didn't all get killed, but like.
But I think they probably found in World War II. He was a World War II
Ukrainian or Canadian? My question.
I don't think he's Canadian. He's not Canadian. He was German, probably.
He was. Well, that's the question.
I don't actually know, but he fought in Ukraine during World War II, but just for the Nazis.
So why were they giving him a celebration?
So they clearly had seen World War II vet and then just assumed that he was on the right side of history. But there's a lot of questions.
Did the guy not say anything?
I need to
If I was a Nazi If I had fought on the side of the Nazis in World War II, I'm going to keep pretty stum for the rest of my life, right? And then if Justin Trudeau gets in the post and is like, we're going to honour you, what are you doing?
Sorry, I stinned a little bit, apologies.
You what?
I stinned. I saw these flowers and it annoyed me.
Oh, is that some sort of autistic term?
ADHD.
ADHD term. If I had fought in the World War as a Nazi, I'd be keeping pretty stum for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And if Justin Trudeau came to me, came to my door, I presume this is how that works. He says, "We'd like to honour you for your services to the war." I'm going to say, "Nah, you're all right, thanks. I'm good. Don't worry."
Yeah.
I'm not. So did he say, "Oh, well, the
be
world's
honest-
taken a pretty big U-turn on how we're thinking about the old Nazis"?
To be honest, like much the things...
You don't know.
Yeah, obviously I skimmed it. So I have very
We
little
don't know how
information.
far. I imagine he got up and it got as far as a ceremony, and Trudeau was about to put a medal over him, and then someone went, "No, that wasn't he a Nazi?"
I think what happened was he felt immense guilt about being a Nazi, so he wants to sort of help any sort of like peace and reconciliation, anything he can do in retrospect. So he's gone to that thinking it would be like, even though I used to be a Nazi.
It's like we forgive you.
Yeah,
like a handshake.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
This can't happen again.
And then he went along with
He
it.
went on and they were like, they started, it wasn't forgiveness. It
Wait,
was
wasn't that
adulation.
guy? He was a Nazi.
I don't think they realised in the ceremony.
Wasn't that guy a Nazi? Hey, I know he was a Nazi. That's how it went.
I do like the idea that he's such a narcissist that he was just like, he wanted the adulation straight on.
I mean, that's a blunder. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fucking. Aren't they in Canada in an argument with someone as well?
Yeah, they're in an argument with India.
Yeah. Why?
But because India poisoned someone in Canada.
Yeah, there was
Because India are going to be big dogs now.
They kind of already are.
They're going to the moon.
Yeah, they are going to the flipping moon. Did you know
So
what was
they're
did you hear
gonna-
the fact
They're
about
now
the price
poisoning
of
people.
that?
How much was it?
Yeah, I think I might have even said on the podcast. It cost as much for India to go to the moon as it did for Interstellar to be made. Why are you looking so confused?
So which side would you?
It's just amusing that we live in a world where a 2.5 hour film costs as much as going to the moon.
Good. Yes. Sorry. If for
What
some
do you
reason,
mean? Well,
it
there's
was
only
sort of-
one way to go down on that fad.
Yeah, I thought it was the implication was how expensive the going to the moon was, but it made going to
Well,
the moon
you're a
seem very-
maniac for thinking that.
It said I was like, that's how much it cost. It was gonna, and I was
as much as no, that's insane.
it's crazy.
That's an insane.
So it's like
person
pretty
with everything.
cheap. It's 250 mil.
Is it? Well, there's two. Is it now cheap to go to the moon, or is movies too expensive? That's the question.
But the movies,
that's
movies make their money back, so
That's true.
it cost 250 million to make Interstellar. That seems very cheap to go to the moon.
I don't know. Does it nowadays?
Is it cheap to go to the moon these days? I
Yeah.
guess it is.
Who isn't? It's cheapest thing in the world. It's cheaper
I'd
than
love
going
to-
to Manchester by the train.
Well, Andy Burnham said that'd be great if Andy Burnham had this. I would believe. Yeah. There would be something to it,
What?
It costs. Yeah,
It costs more to go to the moon than it does to get the train from London to Manchester. Just the balls of that advertising would be fucking excellent. It is very expensive.
it's expensive.
Yeah.
But he also was slightly lying, even though it's really expensive. So I don't want to discredit him. But he went on a podcast and said that it costs like 380 quid.
Is that if you buy the ticket at the station, pay full price?
I think it's
with
like the
no
most you
rail
could
card?
possibly do.
Yeah, on like at peak time.
Yeah.
Adult single.
Yeah.
Buy at the station with no rail card.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you're doing that, quite frankly, you deserve it.
You deserve to pay.
But it is
380.
too expensive.
It's crazy.
obviously. It is too expensive.
You upset about HS2?
It's hard to know, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have been
It's always
aware-
been hard to know.
We've almost grown up with HS2.
Yeah, HS2
It's
is-
kind of been our.
yeah.
It's been our. I don't even know. We've just.
It's all what?
I don't really know what it is. It's a train that
Yeah.
goes from London to Manchester.
Yeah, it's one of the hard things to have an opinion on.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem.
Now it seems like it's going too far.
It doesn't seem like an ideological thing.
No, but because there's the environment to take into account.
Yeah.
There's the government spending.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think there's a geography thing in there, because apparently we don't need it to go to London to Manchester that much. It should maybe be east to west or something. Like Liverpool to Manchester is apparently a nightmare. I don't know.
You want you want HS2 to go from
I
Liverpool
don't
to
want
Manchester.
anything. I don't understand what's going on.
That's a 30-minute train journey. I feel.
No, but apparently it's not. Apparently, maybe not those, but there's poorly connected bits in the north.
Yeah.
Well, the point of it is to bridge the north-south divide, isn't it?
Well,
and I feel like that might take a bit more than a train.
Yeah.
This is where economics is slightly confusing because it's like
the whole thing's confusing.
Train, people aren't going to just like get barrels of money on a train and bring it up to the north.
Well, quicker than they already are.
Yeah, I guess. But this is the geography thing.
Well, I think...
Because it does actually, because then people will be able to more realistically have jobs in Manchester and maybe be able to commute to Manchester.
Yeah, because you see how they're like moving all these studios to Manchester, Leeds and stuff.
Salford.
If you can get there from London, then it does.
Yeah.
It sort of makes sense,
But why is it taking decades?
Because it's like, apparently it's not one of the biggest engineering projects. Like
Why?
rail.
It's just a fucking train.
It's just
Surely we did this loads back in the day. Why is it so
Yeah.
difficult? I think I've heard it's difficult because maybe there's environmental concerns and there are people protesting at different places and not wanting it to go through there.
But to be honest, England, it feels like our benefit we have is that everything's pretty crammed together.
Yeah.
So you should be able to get everywhere really fast, I think.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. So we should have a really fast train that goes up there.
But then we don't have that much space, and then like a train is quite... Because a train...
Is a train that much? Is it?
I don't know.
It's a line, isn't it?
Well, sure,
Like, I
it's
feel
only
you
the
could-
width of a train.
Yeah, it's not that big.
Well, when you go
You're
through...
going to cut through some people's houses.
Sure.
And they're obviously going to be super anti
They're going to be
HS2.
pissed.
They're going to be loud about it.
But don't they buy them
because
new,
of how
do they
little
buy
we
the
care about
houses?
HS2, how much they're going to care about HS2 is going to dwarf.
It's going to be... That's
Yeah.
the north-south divide.
But then we should bulldoze through their houses.
I think we
Because
should.
that's how time moves ahead.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we'll just keep moving ahead.
I don't know the benefits. I don't know the drawbacks. All I know is it's taking quite a long time.
But then everything takes quite a long time. Elizabeth Line took
And it
quite a long
seems
time.
to be costing
People
a lot of money.
brought up the Channel Tunnel, that everyone had the same thing with the Channel
That's
Tunnel.
different. That's a tunnel under the ocean.
Yeah. This is just
Give the guy some time. This is London
this is
to Manchester.
It's like taking like half an hour off London to
I've
Manchester.
done that train several times. Just make it a bit quicker.
Yeah. You've gone to Manchester?
Yeah.
What are you doing in Manchester?
That's none of your business, pal.
Oh, you've never got it. What have
So
you...
I've been to Manchester. I've been to Old Trafford.
Oh, the Old Trafford.
Several times.
Yeah.
So the Community Shield actually was in Wembley.
Well, there's a big riz that people have against Manchester is that they're all Cockney Reds. Right?
Riz. That's used wrong.
There's two different ways you can use it. Yeah, I'm rizzing you.
Oh yeah.
He's got riz.
But we've got to change that now because they mean very different things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like when I...
Yeah, that's true.
So a good topical joke would be that it's funded by all the Manchester United fans because so they can get to the games quicker because they all live in London.
Oh yeah. That's a Raz.
That's a Raz.
That's a Raz, not a Riz.
Yeah. Unless I was trying to fuck them.
Yeah.
Through my Raz.
Yeah, it'd be like,
Use your Raz.
if that was a pickup line,
My Raz
to a
to
girl,
Riz. My Raz to Riz ratio.
I hear HS2 is to get all the Man United fans to the games.
Well, that's just excellent
Do you want
Riz.
to have sex?
That's excellent Riz through a Raz.
Excellent Riz through a Raz. Don't trust it. Not sure where I should stand on it. Don't care.
Probably in economy class because of how expensive the tickets will be.
I think it would be really embarrassing if they don't finish it.
Really embarrassing.
Just because, as well as us as a global player, it's like we've done Brexit, and now it's like, oh, we can't even finish a train.
Yeah, it does seem like I reckon. Just give me like a brief overlook of the plans. I'm sure I can make some cuts and costs.
Hand it over to us.
Who's this guy? He doesn't need to work. We don't need him. We don't need him. Her. Them. What do you think? It's a positive discrimination that's been getting us wrong. We're so obsessed with these quotas that we're not getting the right Ians and Gavins to do the job.
That's our HS2 hot take. It's all about positive discrimination.
I wouldn't mind like doing a late night talk show where my opening monologue is only HS2 jokes until it gets made. So that's what it's going to get made in like 10 years, 15 years.
Do you think it's going to be that long?
Yeah, apparently.
So
the projection it's so boring.
It's so boring.
It's not because Channel Tunnel was
people have such strong
The Elizabeth
opinions.
line was quite exciting.
Yeah, but yeah.
In its own way.
But it kind of, that also directly pertained to us though.
Yeah.
Like we use it.
Well, HS2, I guess.
Yeah, you might.
Is it like turning Manchester into like a borough of London now? Because of how quick it will be. But the problem is it's going to be so expensive I'm not even going to get it. That's the problem. That's what's going to suck.
It's so expensive that you're not going to get it.
Well, Andy Burnham's talking about,
yeah.
Tickets to Manchester already cost $4,500.
Yeah.
To get any time.
India went to the moon in the same amount.
Exactly.
I can't afford to go to the moon.
Well, how long have India been planning to go to the moon?
Far too long.
What? How? Because I haven't heard the rumblings.
No, the Indians have been looking upwards for a while.
How have they been longer than HS2? Because it's embarrassing if Indians are getting to the moon.
If they've got to the moon quicker than we can get to Manchester.
That's embarrassing.
Of course it's embarrassing. Especially if we give up.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like, actually, I take it back. I'd like us to give up.
You want us to stop?
I think it'd be funny. I don't think it's like, let's just call it what it is.
No, because it's not about giving up. It's about not making the second leg. Because we've already built so much the first
To where?
leg. To Manchester. So the first leg's to Birmingham.
So we built to Birmingham.
We're nearly finished to Birmingham.
Well, we have to
And by nearly finished, that's 5 years, I think, still.
We have to finish the... But isn't it...
No one's talking about finishing to Birmingham. It's about whether that carries on to Manchester. And Burnham's pissed off as well.
Just put the track down.
Have you noticed that Andy Burnham... Sorry, we don't explain to... Because this is an international podcast.
Yeah, shit.
Andy Burnham is the mayor of Manchester.
Which is hilarious.
And
It's funny that mayors still exist. Even mayor of London makes me laugh. Like, what are you doing? I imagine them wearing a hat.
It's a silly job. They
have a ceremonial hat.
Yeah. He does seem to be like his shtick. If you're Game of Thrones fans, he's sort of the Warden of the North. I've
never seen it.
But he's Sean Bean's character in Game of Thrones. He's
I've
sort
never
of
seen
the
it.
King of Winterfell, the Warden of the North.
Sean Bean's enough.
But it was written based on the UK, like vaguely. So there's the North, there's the South. The South is rich and evil. The North is soulful and poor. Okay, that's sort of how they distinguish.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a guy called the Warden of the North
Yeah.
who unites all the northern kingdoms against the treacherous southern brethren.
Yeah.
Andy Burnham is weirdly playing that role.
Right.
Where he is not only the mayor of Manchester, but he is sort of the protector of the North.
Yeah, okay.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, that is one of the more prominent northern politicians, I think.
So that's quite funny.
Yeah.
Expand.
I can't. I have absolutely exhausted my HS2 material, particularly when I've got a pretty deep cold here. So I've got 3 gripes I'd like to go into.
So one of them isn't HS2.
One of them isn't HS2. It very well could be. Because I've been ill, I've had more gripes than usual.
Because you've been irritable?
I've been irritable. I've had a blocked nose and I've been looking on things with disdain. Like,
which is good for gripe.
Hey, how embarrassing is it that Americans call it candy?
It is embarrassing.
Grow the fuck up. Candy.
Candy's very embarrassing.
But
sweets is very embarrassing as well.
No, sweets isn't. Sweeties is.
Sweeties
Get your facts
is.
straight. Get your facts straight. Sweets is all right because that's the description of it. Candy. Look, it's going to be difficult. What else do you call it? Confectionery, but that's for the fucking dog rapists. No one calls it
Dog rapists?
No one calls it confectionery.
Far from dog
Would you like some confectionery?
Yes.
Dog rapist. That's a full-on dog rapist. Candy is the most I get it because kids go, oh, can we have some sweeties, please, Mum? Fine. Childlike. Childlike. It's pathetic. It's like it's a bit like fizzy pop. It's on the same lines as fizzy pop. But there's another one where people
soda.
Whenever you put an E on it, I know pop doesn't have an E, so leave me alone. But when you put an E on it, like sweeties, candy, that's always going to be childlike.
Yes.
Why? So I see on Kill Tony, a comedian.
Have they killed him yet?
Not yet. Still not yet. It's a very arrogant comedian who's being really horrible to people, but funny.
Russell Brand.
What?
No, joking. Go ahead.
That's so confusing. What am I meant to do with that? I'm in the middle of something here. Can you not see? So arrogant and being like a mean comedian, an insult comedian almost. And then he just
more
goes,
serious crimes.
And then I heard him whilst in the middle of taking the piss out with someone, razzing someone, use the word candy. And you can't do that. You can't use candy if you're above the age of 7. But then we've got an entire continent of people who seem to think it's acceptable to do so.
Well, it's not. A lot of those Americanisms are just normalised there. So
candy? What else is
candy?
there?
Well, party. The way that Americans also go, let's party. They say they don't say party with self-hatred.
Yes.
We don't have a better word.
Yeah.
But we also we say
sesh has become the thing now.
Yeah, but we
Sorry.
We couch party with a bit more
couch party.
Yeah, the couch party. DFS couch party.
Do we do couch parties better than the rest of the world? Hey, you want to come around?
But then, yeah, let's party. This guy loves to party. They'll say it as if it's cool. It's cool to party.
It's a lack of self-awareness that exists within them. But do they not hear themselves when they say candy?
Yeah, that's a good question.
But I guess what do we say?
Sweets,
but because they talk about chocolate as candy as well.
Do they?
Yeah, heck yeah.
And we just call it
candy bar.
Yeah, that's true.
Candy. They call anything
What
that's
do you
like a
think
bit
about soda?
sweet.
Soda's all right.
Soda's fine.
Yeah.
I've got no
Because we
problem
say
with
soft
soda.
drink, which is a bit weird.
A bit more civilized.
Yeah, it is.
Well, no,
more
but I think we just specify like Coke or stuff.
yeah. Soda. You got any soda in the fridge?
I don't mind soda. It's better than fizzy pop.
Yeah.
I don't care how old you are. You can't say
There
fizzy
was
pop.
another word that party. Oh, there was something. I can't remember.
My second one is can we stop stacking sandwiches so full?
Okay. Well, like meal deals.
No, not supermarket sandwiches. You see
What,
any
homemade?
fucking no, not me. I'm not. My gripe isn't against me. Like, stop putting the ham in it, Andrew. No, when you go out for a meal, like not a meal, if you go out to get a sandwich, perhaps, or you see all these recipes on TikTok, these fuckers are putting so much.
Wait. So you're going out to get a sandwich and the recipes on TikTok. This is.
There's two kinds of. Can you contemplate different
Okay,
sandwiches?
so fine.
So like, there's recipes on TikTok, and there's places that you go, and they're like, yes, stacked meat. Let's get all the fucking meat on it. You need more ham, more fucking pastrami, cheese coming out of your fucking eyes.
1 million views.
1 billion views.
Yeah.
1 billion views, and it's like that looks fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
The key to a sandwich is a good filling to bread ratio.
What would you describe the ratio as?
I would say like the most you want, and I'd have this sliced meat wise is a chicken breast,
Yeah.
and then maybe a bit of bacon.
And
But
salad.
that's thin. Yeah, and salad.
Salad doesn't really count.
Salad
Yeah.
doesn't really count.
Yeah,
but
we're
that
talking
is
about
how much you wanted a sandwich.
Yeah, maybe some cheese in there.
You see those?
Yeah.
Yeah. If a club sandwich, heck yeah, get some cheese in there. But you see all these fucking freaks who are just like, they seem to get pleasure by stacking more and more meat on top of each other, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of biting into it because it tastes like, imagine, because the majority of it, you're just biting layers and layers of meat.
Yeah.
Which is gross.
What sandwich did you have that pissed you off? What was it?
No, I saw it.
You didn't eat it.
I have one in my mind that I had in Cardiff.
Okay.
That I was like, everyone was like, God, this is delicious. I was like, no, it's fucking not. You're lying. You're lying to yourselves.
What sandwich did you see?
I don't know. It was like a cold cut selection. So like,
Was it like a
pastrami.
deli?
Yeah, like a deli.
It was a fancy deli.
They just pile it up. Like, who wants to eat that much meat?
Yeah, it's that New York thing.
If you put that
What if
on
you
a
put
plate?
another piece of bread in between the two?
I love a club sandwich.
But
okay?
like a bread inside. Yeah.
But it should still so these ones they're going like that. It's the same with burgers. Stop stacking the burgers. I want to be able to bite into it.
Burgers, I 100% agree.
It's
100%
obscene.
agree. I cut my burger now.
Yeah, and I would too.
Yeah.
But I like a burger it's just keep it simple.
Keep it thin. Well, that's why smash
Keep
burgers.
it thin.
Yeah.
Smash burgers I get.
Yeah. I don't like messy food, to be honest. I've started eating burrito bowls instead of whole burritos, but that's more because I can't handle it just gets too messy.
That's just.
I just don't like being covered in sauce.
That's too much information, pal.
Yeah, sorry.
My third gripe is
And final.
gripe is so they're not ASMR videos because they're not really ASMR, but these have you seen like? There's one going around recently a lot where there's a guy who stacks glass jars of paint on each other and then rolls the ball.
Yeah.
My gripe isn't the video, it's the guy who makes it. I hate him.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
How much of them do you watch through?
All
of it.
them.
All of it.
I watch
all of it.
And I don't hate,
And I feel so bad watching it.
Yeah.
But I have to see all of it.
That one
I feel so sad.
That one particularly, the fucking payoff is not good enough.
It's not.
You'd think it would be a great explosion of colour. The glasses just shatter and go down.
I didn't like any of the rolling down the stairs ones, to be honest, because I watched all of them.
Yeah.
You can't help but watch all of them.
So I don't hate the videos. I'm not saying I hate them because I watch too much of them. I'm saying I hate the people that do them because they've gone. Anyone can do that. There's no skill in it.
Yeah.
There's no talent in it. All it is making those videos.
It's cynical.
It's cynical, and it's all you're doing is basically clearing up for a living.
Yeah.
The difference between normal people and people that make those videos is that they're willing to clean up the mess afterwards.
Yeah.
And like, what? Stop.
Yeah.
Stop
100%
stacking
agree.
jars of paint on top of each other.
But also actively adding to what's wrong with the culture and society in the world.
Absolutely.
And like, for a living.
Yeah.
For a living.
For a living.
Basically.
Yeah.
Adding to what we all don't like about social media.
So the people who do like the clip videos, so the guys who would do like podcast fan accounts
I'm all right with them.
No, I know, yeah, but like, why? So they might get they loads of these pages can have lots of followers.
Oh, and if you want to clip this up and put it over Subway Surfers, be my guest.
Do whatever you want.
That would be
honestly.
To me, I think that would be a huge sign of making it is that you.
I know, but this is not from a creator point of view.
Yeah.
This is why do they do those things? Why is it? So I've just been distracted because the guy that always delivers our, the packages, the guy with the slight limp. He's in the playground.
What's he doing in the playground?
I'm pretty sure that's him. You can't see him, but wait, you can. He's just walked out of view, but he has. Can you see that figure?
Yeah.
He had the limp, and he's about that size, isn't he?
Well, he's delivering to the school.
No, it's past delivery hours.
No, he's not playing in the jungle gym.
I don't know why he's in the playground. But I don't understand because they can get loads of followers, of course they do. But then what do you do? Is it just to have the thrill of it?
Yeah.
Because they don't advertise stuff.
Is it the thrill of sharing something you like?
Or is it just extreme loneliness, boredom and sadness?
Probably. Well, mate, yeah, because you don't get monetized that much.
That's what I'm saying. They'll have loads of followers and no money. So they're not doing it for money.
Yeah.
There's no advertising on it.
It's probably fan. It's like a fan.
Yeah.
It's being a fan of something.
Yeah.
Sharing, curating, and they're an important part of the culture.
So they aren't my gripe. My gripe is the people that do my skill shots are becoming my gripe. But I'm not again, I watch them all through. I'm just like, there isn't, it just focuses us on this thing where it's like videos that people can be bothered to do. Because the skill shots, unless you get it first time, there's no skill. It's just a war of attrition.
I hate the skill shots because I do also feel like it's until you see a better skill shot than the best skill shot you've seen, it's not really.
It's not going to go anywhere. I'm fed
it's
up
not worth
it.
I don't care. I've seen better skill shots, so it's like do better than that.
Honestly, stop.
You loser.
It's this new thing of creators.
And they say don't let this flop. Stop being a loser.
Yeah, shut
and also,
up.
Don't say don't let this flop. It's up to the
that's
fucking.
It's not on us, pal.
Yeah.
It's on you. You're letting this flop. But then it's this new trend of videos almost, or creators who are doing they're just doing shit that people can't be bothered to do. The skill shots are just war of attrition. Anyone can do it if you spend long enough just trying the same thing. And there's these things where people are staring at each other. That's how Mr. Beast started to get big, because he did stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the ASMR thing. I know it's
developing
ASMR.
a new skill of attrition.
Yeah, but it's just doing shit people can't be fucked to do, and then showing it.
Yeah.
And it's annoying. Why? Who? It's not the videos themselves; it's the people. Why you're doing it? Because you just want to get big on the internet.
Thanks very much, guys.
Don't do them.
I'll see you next week. Good. Guten.
Yes, little wee wee.